Good evening, everybody. How is everybody doing tonight? We are the crew. We are back with another episode of Kicking with the Crew on this fine Saturday night. Chad's
Yo, I
already in the
like that
comments, like
intro.
always.
I like that
Did you?
intro.
Like a Hollywood
I
movie.
did too. It was get ready.
Michael
I
Bay
like that
directed
intro.
it.
Let's talk about Daniel Adongo real quick.
Talk about all of them, man.
Hey, I put that intro together this morning. I was like, you know what? I haven't messed with anything in a while. It's been
Right.
a while since I've messed with any editing of videos and stuff, and I just was like, you know what? We need a countdown. I wanted like 30 seconds, but that would have been a lot of work. So I just did 5.
You got a future in action movies, man.
Oh man, how's everybody doing?
We're here. That's what we were talking about before we came on. Hey, we made it to Saturday this week. That's what counts.
Yes, sir. So, from what everybody, I don't know if we told everybody what we were going to do this week, but this week we're going to put together our all-team roster for the Indianapolis Colts / Baltimore Colts. We're going to go ahead and go all the way back to 1953. It doesn't matter what, we're just going to talk about it. We're going to put together our offense. We're going to put together the defense. And, but we're first going to start off with Trev, because Trev wants to go ahead and talk about prospects. So we're going to go ahead and put Trev up here. Take me off.
Big
There
screen,
you go.
baby.
Big screen.
Yeah. So
Big screen.
what we've been talking about doing is like each week, each of us highlighting just like one guy that's not got enough attention in the draft process. Because we've sat and talked about C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, like all the main quarterbacks and the first round guys over and over. So I want to kind of highlight like the diamonds in the rough that Chris Ballard likes to really go after. Also, to answer Zach's comment, it's the left foot because I'm nowhere near talented enough to be his right. So I'll just be the plant foot. I'll take that one. But today, for my prospect, I wanted to highlight this guy, Nick Broker, out of Mississippi. He's a senior. He stands 6'4", 300 pounds. I got his draft profile up right now. His total combine score, he's ranked 7th. But my issue with Nick Broker and where he's being rated right now, a lot of guys, they're putting him down on his length, like his arms aren't long enough. They say he is desiring for athleticism, like he leaves some to be desired. But what I've seen consistently from this guy is winning matchups. He's a 3-year starter. He got key snaps as well as a freshman. So really 4 years of important snaps and important playing time that he's had. Started as a left tackle, shifted to left guard this past year, where he made second team all SEC and didn't give up a single sack on 435 snaps. So that's super impressive, right? Like the dude's been consistent, hardly ever hurt, starts every game, every season. He's always in it. Not the biggest guy, but he tends to win his matchups way more often than not. And he's kind of just got like a little bit of dog in him that you like to see out of your O-lineman. So yeah, this has been my one of my prospects that I put like a star on that I'd really love to see drafted in like the 3rd or 4th round, because I think he'll be available there. A lot of teams are not high on this guy from what I can see. Like he's not rated very high, but I think he's getting underrated here. So that's my diamond in the rough for this week, Nick Broker out of Ole Miss. He doesn't have a whole lot up on like YouTube and stuff. If you guys look him up, it's a little hard to find info on the guy, which is another reason why I feel like he's being underrated. But what you can see from him, he dominated against Auburn is a tape I was watching earlier today. He was matched up directly against Will Anderson 2 years ago, and he won that matchup. They didn't win in the game, but he played very well there. My key thing for Nick Broker that I really like and why I like his fit here is because this past year, I'm not an Ole Miss fan, but if anyone in the comments is, you can tell me if I'm crazy or not. But this past year, when they had Jackson Dart as quarterback, they ran a run option heavy offense, which I think is what we're moving towards with Shane Steichen. So I think this guy would have a very natural fit going from that RPO offense in Ole Miss straight over to Indy, where I think we'll be running that as well. I think he could plug that gap at right guard or even maybe compete with Raymond at LT. Like he can play multiple roles. So that's this week's highlight for me. Huge on this Nick Broker guy, and I highly recommend everyone check him out.
Yeah, speaking of the draft, if anybody hasn't gone out there and got theirs already, I had to get mine nice and early. The new draft hat that dropped. Matt had the one from last year, so just know we stay up to date. I know most of these guys probably got theirs on the way as well. My guy is going to be a little bit bigger name than Trev's guy, so I'd say that's more of a Ballard option. He likes to find those diamond in the rough type of guys. But I'm going to say name a guy that hasn't really gotten talked about much at all, which for me is Nick Herbig out of Wisconsin. I mean, this dude is legit. He's got a high motor, one of the highest rated pass rushers, pass rush rates in college. Hasn't been talked about much. We've been seeing a lot of the big name guys get talked about, obviously with Jalen Carter, Will Anderson, the guy from I want to say not Louisville, but one other school. But a lot of those guys have been discussed about. Nick Herbig is one of the biggest underrated guys that I think is coming out this year. Finished with 11 sacks. Hi, Matt's mom. 11 sacks and one of the highest pressure rates. So I think that's a big guy to look out for as well.
Coming out of Wisconsin.
I'm right here, turd.
Do you have any relation to Nate Herbig?
Not that I'm aware of. I'm not sure.
I think he's an O lineman for Eagles that I think of. But
sorry, guys, bear
yeah,
with
I
me.
knew I recognized the name.
Yeah, they very well.
Devils game just started.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all.
So yeah, I mean, definitely. I don't know much about Nick Herbig specifically, but I know the defense was not the problem in Wisconsin. Every game you watched, it was because Graham Mertz can't throw the freaking ball. So, but their defense was always pretty solid, and this is the reason they were able to hang around in games, right? And obviously, if Nick Herbig's a big part of that, definitely be interested in checking them out.
Oh yeah, 23.9% pass rush win rate, 91.1 pass rush grade, 11 sacks, 17 hurries, and 6 QB hits. I mean, dude's an animal. And just play for a team that didn't really succeed this year. And just like you said, Mertz, who's actually coming over to be my QB in Florida now. So
I'm so sorry.
Hopefully Billy Baggs can get the best out of him.
Yeah. So Mertz, not to get off topic a little bit, but Mertz had so much hype around him. But then every time he's played a game against a ranked opponent, he doesn't show up at all. Like he disappears from the field. It's crazy.
That's my problem with rankings when guys come out, because we see all of these 4-star QBs, and I've been following a lot more this year than any other year, so I'm really taking a task to it. But a lot of the people that when they see these 4-star QBs come out, everybody's all juiced up and whatnot, and then they don't really pan out. Yeah. And everybody's like, by year 2 or 3, they're like, this guy freaking sucks. But it's like everybody wanted that player when he was coming out. So
right. I think it's one of those things, man.
I think it's a lot of it has to do with who you're going to, and the system fits you as a high school quarterback. Because when you're coming out, I mean, you're going from one level to a really different level. So
yeah, absolutely. And then you could argue too, going from Big Ten to SEC, now he's facing a whole different level there too. So It'll be interesting to see how he plays out.
Yes,
I'll get into my prospect because Chad's kind of buttoned in here. My prospect comes from the TCU Pro Day. Unfortunately, I thought Max Duggan looked really bad in his Pro Day. I don't know if any of y'all watched the tape. I
thought you was about to highlight D Winters.
It was not good. So and the reason why I choose this guy, because I draft him a lot in my later rounds. But after watching the Pro Day and watching him pinned up against Quentin Johnston, Tate Barber, Darius Davis, I think he's a ballot pick. Fastest player probably coming out of the draft this year. True Olympic speed. I think he averaged like 17 yards a reception this season. So he's a true deep threat. I know he picked up Isaiah McKenzie this offseason.
He played a lot out of the slot.
He played a lot in the slot. Just overall a really great deep threat. I think he has great ball skills as well. For his size, he comes in at 5'9", about 185 pounds. Yep. I think at the combine he ran about a 4.35, 4.36, somewhere in that speed. So
yeah,
that's a solid guy. I liked a lot.
I do want to say this about Max Duggan though, because Max Duggan is a guy who's taken a lot of slack since the Georgia game, and I think the thing is with him in that Georgia game, his team was outmatched.
Yeah.
Then you take it to the combine and his pro day now. I just believe Max Duggan is one of those guys that you look at and you see a football player. He's not a tester. He's not a grader. He's not one of these guys who's going to grade out super high, but he's going to get on the football field and he's going to show you heart, effort, and tenacity on each and every play. So that's more what I would look for from that type of guy rather than as far as testing and seeing that type of stuff. Because, I watched this guy play all year long, and it's been – this guy is his stock has dropped a bit with all these testing and stuff since that Georgia game, but I think he's still he's a guy that you cannot ignore his effort, his play, his actual play without the testing.
I actually do want to go back just for a minute, just looking at Darius Davis, because I've been pulling up these guys as you guys have been talking about. They have him listed as 5'8", 165. So he's literally, that's my measurements. I'm 5'8", 165. So that's me out there on the football field.
Hey, man, you go through puberty yet? Jesus.
Yeah, barely, right? But he's Scout's got to be smaller, right? You can't have a big guy.
I was 5'8", 165 when I was 12.
All right, hey, he's up, man.
Okay, man.
Yeah, this guy. It is interesting because he could provide like a contrast to the
Mom's
wide
in the
receivers that we
comments. She
usually
can
get,
vouch for
right?
that too.
Nice. But the wide receivers we usually get are like freaking superhuman, right? They're like power forwards in basketball. They're 6'4", 215 pounds, right? So picking up a guy like this, I don't hate it because it kind of diversifies that group and makes defenses plan for different things.
Yeah.
So it could be an interesting late round pick.
I think a comparable player that we could like really directly relate to him from came from TCU a couple years back, Kevontae Turpin, for the Cowboys. Very similar build, very similar stature. And Turpin's an igniter.
Well, he actually didn't make it. He went to the USFL for a while.
And he was their MVP.
Became the MVP over there. Came back to the Cowboys as a primary special teamer and kick returner. So I actually watched that guy in the USFL. I didn't know him back when he played in college, so I saw his USFL tape and thought he was a pretty legit dude there. So it's tough when everybody underrates you because your size, and so it's not.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Fit, but hey man, I'm short too, so definitely nowhere near 165. So I'm definitely not small. But
no.
Yeah, so yeah, that's just one of those tough things when you get underrated for the size, but you gotta make up for it with other stuff or be able to stay healthy. So, you got anybody, Matt?
Nope.
No,
because everybody shat on my parade.
Hey, I gave Max Duggan love, man. Chill.
Man, go ahead on Max Duggan, man.
Nah, mine will always be Max Duggan. That guy's got my heart.
Yeah, I think dude's a dog, man. He's a dog. I think he's just a competitor.
That's something you love out of college players too, is that guys that aren't necessarily going like that. That's kind of the similar theme with this guy, Nick Broker, that I picked for this week, is that he doesn't necessarily test the greatest, but when you watch him on film and you get to watch him play games, he wins his matchups and he just comes out and plays, man. Like it's one of those like X factor things that you can't really put in a statistic, but like you can see it, right? Like you can see the guy's a player or not. So I 100% give that to Max Duggan. He's a player.
Yeah, that's facts. I don't know, man. There was just something about that game. Who'd they play? Who was it? Oregon?
Michigan game?
No. Was it the Michigan
He's balling
game?
against Michigan.
If it's all
there was a game that I watched.
Baylor. That's what you're talking about.
Baylor. Yeah, the Baylor game.
That game put him on the map for me.
That Michigan game, top 10 college football game of all time. Can't change my mind. That was absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I do think Max Duggan's just going to go to the NFL and be a backup somewhere, and we're not going to be able to see him thrive.
I think so.
Unless he'll be like a Geno and thrive later on in his career.
I can see that.
I think he'll be like a Kirk Cousins.
I can see that too.
Yeah,
the situation where he had to sit behind RG3 for a while and. Boom! By year 3 or 4, he gets to take over.
It wasn't really for a while because RG3 was always banged up.
Yeah, but
I don't think he took the reins until like year 3 or 4. Though,
yeah,
right?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, because he was off and on. So you got to be that guy that's kind of jumping off the bench every once in a while. The team isn't really looking at you like you're going to be the starter, especially when you got an RG3 right there. So
like a Taylor Heineke.
That's exactly where I was going next.
Exactly.
Something about Washington. He's going.
Whoa, Matt, Mom. RG3 didn't suck. He just couldn't stay healthy.
He went to my high school too. That's
That man was
the best athlete I have ever seen in my life.
He's a freak, man.
Dude.
I mean, it's
He's
worth
Olympian.
remembering. Yeah, it's
He's
worth
also-
remembering. Like there was a legitimate debate about who do the Colts take at number 1, RG3 or Andrew freaking Luck. And
I think that was-
everybody
I think
knew it
that
was
was-
Andrew Luck.
I
There
was about to say, I think that was a legitimate debate between analysts. 'Cause
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
was-
but,
it was
but
that-
at
it
the
was
time,
always Andrew
at the
Luck.
time, it wasn't outlandish though. I mean, RG3 was a baller. Like
Also
did
won-
you-
but-
did you not?
Also
did you-
won Rookie of the Year over.
But if
Andrew
you
Luck.
remember, and
I still think that was bull
Trev,
crap.
Trev doesn't remember. He probably doesn't remember.
I'm
this,
telling
but
you,
back when,
man.
but back when they went to draft Peyton Manning, it was a debate between Ryan Leaf and Peyton Manning.
Yeah, I understand it, but
They
I'm just
always
saying,
have
like,
the debate.
at that time, coming out of college, they were both like can't miss prospects. And I think that was completely fair coming out of college. Obviously, Luck was a lot better in the pros until he went out as well.
I mean,
but-
RG3 won Rookie of the Year.
They gave it to him because he was more exciting. Fuck that shit. Andrew Luck should have got it.
Bro, RG3.
I don't think he was ever
season,
better than Luck.
That's
that
true.
New
I think
Orleans
I
game
think it irritated me when it was a debate.
was that
that
Minnesota or New Orleans? He went for like 150 on the ground, threw for like 400 yards his rookie season.
Oh, Zach.
Ew.
killing me, dog.
Zach wouldn't have paid RG3 though. He doesn't like to pay people, so RG3 wouldn't have gotten paid. Oh man,
But
that's
yeah,
a good debate.
I hated that argument and how he won it. I just thought Andrew Luck was better, more clear. Even on
I ain't
Pat
gonna lie.
McAfee show, he had told Andrew Luck when he was going to visit Washington. Pat McAfee told him, like, you don't know already, like, you know they're gonna pick you, right? And so Andrew Luck was making his rounds regardless, and everybody knew that the Colts were taking him.
I had no idea about either one of them when we took Andrew Luck. Not gonna lie. I mean, I was in Afghanistan that whole year, so there's
I mean, that's a fair.
all I
excuse.
knew. All I knew was that Peyton Manning had surgery. He was most likely going to get released. I was watching shit on the fucking AFN while I was on a treadmill in a makeshift gym in Afghanistan. So I had no idea what was going on. All I knew was we sucked, and we were going quarterback. That was it.
Bro, I was barely coming out of high school. I was like watching it, the NFL and whatnot. I barely knew anybody in college. I just knew his name a little bit, so that's what I knew. I ain't gonna act like I knew the most until we
You
got
know,
I don't know. And when we were in Afghanistan, bro, NBA was a lot bigger at the time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's like 11 was like right
I'm
when
pretty-
LeBron went to the Heat.
Yeah, that was LeBron, Wade.
That was like fun years. NBA kind of sucks right now.
Yeah, that was a hell of a team too.
there was.
I think that was the last time I really watched basketball.
It was worth watching.
Yeah,
I think in that year or the year before it was a real big deal because I think they thought Luck was going to come out Cam Newton's year. That'd have been 2010, and he would have went to Carolina number 1 overall. 100%. I think he gets chosen over Cam. So that whole dichotomy of that draft would have been completely different, and the Colts would have won RG3 number 1 overall next year.
100%. Yeah, I mean that would have been crazy right there. And
and we would have dealt with this issue 5 years ago.
yeah, but 5 years ago, we're getting probably a better quarterback than we are right now. Maybe.
That's what I'm saying. 5 years ago, we probably would have got Justin Herbert.
Yeah, we're not depending on Dan Orlovsky to bail out the second half of our season. We would have won
he
4 or
would've
5
kept-
games.
he would have kept running out of bounds.
He was the only glitter of hope we had that season, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
That's
don't
not
forget,
very much hope.
Dan Orlovsky almost played us out of the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
We almost had RG3 because of Orlovsky.
Not knowing Washington, they would have took somebody else.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins, number 1.
Yeah,
That's all right. Jeff Saturday coming in and winning us 1 game is probably going to screw us this year, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
Oh yeah.
Still a good moment though. I live for that. That was the only like highlight of this season was me being able to talk shit to people, be like, "Yeah, Jeff freaking Saturday just won a game."
So is he going? He's going back to high school, ain't he?
No, I think he's gonna
Analyst.
go back to ESPN.
ESPN. Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Well, he was doing both.
Yeah, but I don't think he liked to coach in high school.
Mm-mm.
I don't understand why high school is the best age to coach.
I genuinely
Because
think
you
he
can
could
get paid millions to coach in the NFL.
I hate that, man. I hate
I-
that. I'm
I
sorry.
mean,
Football's fun.
There's
I
no
told
way he's worried
I
about
told-
money by now, though.
I told my wife when I retire out of the army, I am perfectly okay with just coaching high school football for the rest of my life because at that time, I'm still getting paid by the army. because I'm getting paid 50% of my base pay, and then I'm getting I still keep TRICARE. I get medical benefits. I'm getting out 100% disability with sleep apnea and a knee surgery. Knee surgery is 50% alone. Sleep apnea is 70% alone. I'm getting out with 100% disability. I'm gonna be making 6,000-7,000. I'm making more than I make now, just to be out of the Army when I retire. So I'm just gonna coach high school football the rest of my life.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, I don't care about if I get the opportunity to go higher. Sure, maybe I'll take it. We'll see where my family's at that point, but that's not the goal.
Stress over it.
Yeah.
That'd be cool, man. I 100% think Jeff Saturday should look into college coaching, though. I think he'd be successful there, just with the kind of guy he is, how he likes to be like a leader of men and stuff, and just like take charge of a situation like that. That works in college. It doesn't always work in the NFL route because it's grown ass men and professionals getting paid millions of dollars. But college route, you can step in and take charge like that, and I think he could do well.
Yeah. To answer my mom and Ashley, almost everyone in the Army has sleep apnea.
I've never been to the Army, and I also have sleep apnea.
Yeah,
or just straight insomnia.
Sleep apnea is very common. Well, sleep apnea and insomnia is way different.
Yeah.
But
you either got one or the other.
I mean, I haven't gotten diagnosed yet, but I know I got it.
I got diagnosed when I was in the hospital getting surgery on my intestine, so that's when they found out.
Nice.
Zach said the Rams had the second overall pick that year, and Washington traded for it with a ton of draft picks. I didn't know that.
It's been years.
I thought Washington had the second worst record that year.
I can't answer that. I was in Afghanistan.
I
don't remember.
5th grade. I don't know.
I don't remember. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember that one, but
not me either.
I just remember the debate that they tried to have, and I thought the Colts would be stupid to not take Andrew Luck. So.
I just remember somebody coming up to me when I was out there, and they were like, "Hey, you guys are gonna take RG3 or Andrew Luck?" And I said, "Who are they?" And they were like, "You might want to start looking." And we just had
Matt's mom. Yes, we are.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Not me. I'm only 3 years younger than Matt. So
yeah, we just got internet in our chew. So when we got internet in the chew, I started doing research, and I was looking up Andrew Luck. I was watching his highlights, and I was looking up RG3. And honestly, I was excited for either one. It didn't bother me if we would have taken either one. Looking before seeing what their pro career went, I would have taken either one at one, to be completely honest.
It speaks volumes too that now like every class, if there's a great prospect, they say, oh, he's a like when Trevor Lawrence came out, they're like, oh, he's an Andrew Luck prospect. And then this year comes around, they're like, well, there's no Andrew Lucks in this draft. But like he is the prospect that people use as the measuring stick for whether he's a clear number one or not. And that's crazy.
Mom, yes, I'm the old man. This is a good birthday though. I'm turning my favorite number, so.
I didn't know your favorite number was 75.
Oh, fuck off.
Oh.
Hey, at least I got to enjoy the golden age of football.
Look at Zach. He's already ready to get to the next segment.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, you ain't lying, man. Y'all want to do this all-time
goodness.
Colts thing, and I had to like look guys up. I'm like, dude, I don't fucking know.
All right, we can go ahead and start, because I can tell you that the majority of the people in the comments and most of you guys are probably going to be picking guys from 2000 and up.
Yeah.
There's going to be a bunch. There's going to be a bunch from me too, because we weren't really that much prior, but there are a couple people, and I know in the back room before we went live, I said Lenny Moore. Lenny Moore is not really on my list. If we're only going to go 2 running backs, Lenny Moore is definitely not there. But I definitely have a wide receiver in mind that's old enough to be all of our granddaddies. So
you got me beat. I think my oldest is from like 92 because I looked him up.
Mom, you're getting weird here.
I got something taking it back.
All right. What position you guys want to start off at? QB, because I think that's pretty damn easy.
We got to start off at
All right,
QB.
we'll start offense. QB.
I don't think anybody here.
I was going to say, did anyone not pick Peyton?
Well, obviously Peyton's going to be the number one quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any debate there at all. I mean, obviously, we know what he's
So-
done with the city. He
so
turned Indianapolis into a football town.
So do you want to debate on his backup?
There we go.
I put Luck. Easy. I put Luck.
You would.
Who'd you
Didn't think
put?
twice about it.
Johnny, I put Johnny Unitas.
Oh.
In my humble opinion, you got to put Johnny U.
So I guess that means we don't have much of a debate there then.
I mean, yeah, I'm not
Are you
going to
go-
argue it.
Are you
Andrew
going
Luck-
Johnny U too?
Andrew Luck is the Barry Bonds of the NFL.
You
He's
know, let's-
written out of a lot of books, history books. He's written out a lot of
So-
stats.
Let's not
team
forget
stuff.
about
Okay.
what Harbaugh did in the 90s either.
Okay, so
For 2
wait.
years.
So
2
so
years.
just to
Yeah.
create a little bit of conflict.
And then we tanked.
Let's say we do go Johnny Unitas, right, as the second most decorated Colts quarterback, right? Let's just say we decided on number 3. You could easily go Harbaugh. You can go Andrew Luck. I'm gonna throw a name out there for y'all. How about
Kerry Collins.
I wasn't gonna say Kerry. I wasn't gonna say Kerry, but I was gonna say Errol Morale.
That's a good one too. That's a good one too.
Bert
That's a
Jones
good one,
is another
too.
really good
Amy, you
one.
heard that
Burt
name?
Jones. Burt Jones.
See, so
though,
I
that
didn't
is
go.
another good
I
one.
didn't go Burt Jones because he finished 500. My boy,
I've been
Earl,
told that he's the most
my boy
underrated quarterback
Earl
ever for
in
Colts.
3 years went 22-3.
That's tough.
Boy, he was a
So-
baller. So
Matt Hasselback's another good one.
I was saying
That's another
Zach
name.
has my answer as the best
But Zach-
backup
but Zach-
with Hasselbeck.
But Zach is only naming the backups. We don't have to
Yeah.
just go with backups for his backup. I mean, we're
Yeah, he's
doing
going-
all-time great, you know?
yeah.
Like think all Madden team. You would have Peyton Manning and then Tom Brady as his backup. I don't care what anybody says. Peyton Manning's
Exactly.
better than Tom Brady. So
Exactly. There's no debate for me either. So I was just throwing that one out there.
all right,
But
so
it's obviously going
I'm-
to be Peyton and Johnny U.
yeah, I'm going Johnny U.
Yeah, I'm not- I'm
Anybody
not gonna debate it
writing
at
this
all.
down? Anybody writing this?
I have my own list.
I can definitely write this down, but I have quite a bit of a list. So.
Yeah, let me see. I
Yeah.
can pull up a word real quick.
I mean,
It's
I
all
took
good. I
Luck.
got you.
I took Luck as my second, but I can't argue Johnny U at all. I just being the child here of the group. I mean, Luck was my football hero. Like as I was getting into football.
Hey
So,
Ashley, your FAU boys lost to San Diego.
womp womp. I forgot that was even on tonight.
all right, so we got QB, Peyton, and Unitas. All right, running back. I don't think there should be a debate on who's RB1.
Nope. Give
I
me
don't
my
think there should
boy
be.
Gold Teeth to Go Jacket.
Yep, gold teeth, go jacket. That's
There is a debate.
Y'all know
Oh.
my guy. Y'all know who I always
don't
say
you,
in this argument.
don't you dare.
don't you dare say Donald Brown.
If either one of you guys named Eric Dickerson, we about to fight.
I got edge.
All right, there we go. No
I
debate.
wouldn't even. I got edge. Who do you got, Damon? I just want to know.
Eric,
Yeah.
I got Eric.
Oh, Damon, we got to go get the boxing gloves.
His best years weren't as a Colt though.
But
and
that's
that-
okay. Okay, you know what? If that's simply
That's
we're
how I
doing
looked at it.
That's fine, and that's fine. Then we'll go edge. I'm not going to argue if that's how.
No.
we're doing it.
If that's your guy, go ahead and make an argument for him. You could probably change our minds. I'm just saying the reason I got quorum with him, like I do claim him as a Colt because obviously he played there. So if you play for the Colts, I got some
Right.
love for you. But my problem is the fact that he never was in Indianapolis. Never really liked us. Never really wanted to be there. He even said it multiple times, and he calls himself just a Ram, and I don't like that. That's why.
My thing about Eric Dickerson, we can't take him out of the. When you talk to somebody about the 3 best running backs of all time, they're going to say Walter Payton, probably Barry Sanders, and Eric Dickerson.
No, they're gonna say Jim Brown.
Well,
Don't do that.
yeah.
Don't do that.
He's
We're
in there,
not-
right? He's in there.
Jim,
I get
Jim
what
Brown's
you're
the Wilt Chamberlain. if we're talking, he's like the Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell out of the group because.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
okay.
You
I
know
got
what I
you.
mean?
I got you.
So why will we not put that in our list? I could say 1A, 1B, but
I
edge.
think
I mean,
So my thing is like if you look at JT stats, JT's been in the league for how long? Like
3 years now.
3
That's
years
good.
now.
Yeah.
yeah, this will be the
so-
third season.
JT is already only 1,300 yards behind Eric Dickerson, and he's also surpassed him in touchdowns. So my thing is, if you're going to put Eric Dickerson there, Jonathan Taylor, in my opinion, would already be surpassed him.
Okay.
So it's like if you
Okay.
put 1 and 2, you're going to have either Edge and JT, or obviously you're gonna have Edge and Marshall Faulk.
I got one question for you.
Why would you go
And
Marshall Faulk though? Because our argument against Eric Dickerson is that his best years were outside of Indy.
Yeah, it's the
Marshall
same
Faulk's
with
best
Marshall.
years were also outside of
I got
Indy.
one question for you, and I know we got a lot of positions to go to, so
Yeah.
we'll drop it here.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you were a Broncos fan, you're talking about your favorite quarterbacks and the best of all time. Would you put Peyton Manning?
They'd probably put him up there because he won them 2 Super
Point
Bowls.
proven.
He
All right,
played there
that's
like
what
4 years.
He won
though.
them one Super Bowl.
But he was there for 4 years and won 2 Super Bowls. They had John
And he
Elway
won one and
for
went to another.
they had John Elway for freaking 15
Peyton Manning
years.
player
He
18 years, though.
won 2 Super Bowls out of 7. So I think that's why they. I mean, I don't think they'd really count it as an all-time QB on their list, but I think they would put the name out there because they do got some guys that they were good quarterbacks and whatnot, but obviously they weren't as great as Peyton Manning. So they would probably count his Colts years and say he won a Super Bowl with our team.
I think if you go strictly talent, it's completely fair to put Dickerson up there. I just looked at it as guys who were like Colts legends, like guys that would be in the Ring of Honor, basically.
You think about it, though, we have a pretty raw running back room.
Oh yeah,
pinned up against most.
I remember I used to have arguments with Titans fans because they used to try and talk about who had the most stats and whatnot, right? And they would talk about Derrick Henry with
CJ,
Eddie George,
and Eddie George, and I was like, okay, well if that's your big three, go ahead and compare the Colts' big three because Eddie George, or not Eddie George, but I want to say CJ and Eddie George might have played the same amount of time as Eric Dickerson or Marshall Faulk. So I was like, you got 4 or 5 years with the Colts there. That's enough to count that. So I was like, you look at that big three and our big three, it ain't far off.
Yeah.
So
100%.
and I was like,
and
that's
JT's going to
with
keep
an all-time,
going.
and that's with an all-time QB. But Matt, to answer your question there about the about Marshall Faulk, Marshall Faulk, in my opinion, he was the guy that pretty much helped build Peyton Manning to what Peyton Manning was in his later years after he finally got things down. And he never slighted the Colts. He never just claimed LA. I don't think he ever seen that. I know he had some was upset with being traded, but I don't think he ever took it the same way as Eric Dickerson, who just didn't see himself as a Colt.
So the thing with Marshall Faulk was Marshall Faulk only played 1 season with Peyton Manning. He played 3 seasons prior to Peyton Manning, and then he was traded. We drafted Edge.
Yeah.
You could say, I guess you could say Marshall Faulk when it comes to him, and he probably had a huge part in why we were able to make the AFC Championship game in '96.
Yep.
When John Harbaugh was our damn, or was it Jim Harbaugh was our goddamn quarterback?
Shout out.
I'm good with putting Marshall. I'm good with putting Dickerson. It doesn't matter. Whichever one you guys want. You guys can vote.
I'm going to personally go Edge and JT.
Yeah, I also have Edge and JT.
Okay, well, we're not going fucking either then.
That's why I laughed. I'm like, hey, respect to both those guys, but fucking Taylor's my guy.
All right.
I just look at what JT's done and look at his production already. I mean, guys, he had to jump in his rookie season. He wasn't expected to be a starter. He's already only 1,300 yards behind Dickerson and already surpassed him in touchdowns. I think Taylor,
it's a potential thing too.
Yeah,
it's betting on potential too, because I hope and I think that he'll be that good for the next 5 years.
Exactly.
All right, wide receivers. This one's gonna be fun.
I think it's be easy for us though.
I think the third one. Hold on. I think the third one is going to be. Yep, number 3 is going to be a debate.
First 2 is easy, right? Marvin Reggie.
No
debate.
No debate. Number 3 is going to be the tough one, and there's a reason, because you young bucks are obsessed with T.Y. Hilton, but you don't understand what Raymond Berry did.
I don't.
Goddamn 30 years prior.
Yeah, I don't. And my pick is T.Y. because of the numbers he put up here, like.
But hold on. The numbers from Raymond Berry are very close to the same as Ty in a non-passing league.
Yeah,
lining up against.
Yeah, I'm not shitting on
lining up against Trev as corner, and the corners he was running routes against were Trev.
Exactly. He also played against.
What do you mean? The corners in the league now are the same size as Trev. No. They just weigh 20 pounds more.
Well, they have the feet of a clown, though.
I'm just saying.
We can also got to remember that Johnny U was one of the best passers of that generation as well.
So
yeah, in a non-passing league.
my whole thing,
Yeah, but
my
they
whole
were
thing with
throwing the
Ty
ball
though,
when other
passing
teams wasn't
offense.
throwing the ball. Yeah, they're still passing offense. So that means other teams weren't catching up to what they
Nah.
were doing already.
Y'all just hate history.
I don't
I
hate
don't-
history.
I don't hate history. I just-
actually
See?
have a lot of
Zach,
historic guys with me.
Zach, see? Zach is with me. Zach understands realistic. TY is literally just a product of Andrew Luck. TY is not even that good. He's
Oh,
5'8".
you
He
can't- come
weighs
on.
he's the same size as Trev.
All right, first of all, we got to stop all these Trev size comparisons. All right?
just
You guys
saying.
are going to make me like hit the gym tonight.
Pro comparison.
He's the dude is smaller than I am.
So let
And he
me
was
make
just
a quick
fast.
case
He was
for him.
just
Though.
fast.
A quick case for him. But yeah, like I get it. Passing league, he's a product of. I get all that. But my thing with Ty and the thing where he kind of like carved out his legacy in Indy for those years that he was here is the fact that like he carried that torch. Like he was the number one, and there was no consistent number two behind him his entire tenure here.
That's Ryan
Reggie
Griggson's
retired.
fault. That's
I
Griggson's
know,
fault.
but I'm saying he carried that torch regardless. Like you can say it's Griggson's fault, like, and you're right. But
As
I'm
a
just saying, like
third, fourth round
that's
pick.
where his legacy is for me. That's why I put him up there because he was that guy. Like he was consistent. He was our passing attack. He was our weapon downfield, like for years. So that's worth number 3 to me.
Yeah, I got Ty, man.
Also, yep. People always neglect he was a size of a slot receiver. Played number 1 against 6'2", 6'3" man hot coverage corners.
Speaking of 6'2", that was
But
Raymond
corners are known
Berry's
for not
size.
being as fast as receivers. So
Raymond
mean,
Berry
dude,
was 6'2",
it doesn't matter.
187 pounds.
I'll
doesn't
argue
matter.
Ty created the fucking like he laid the foundation for a guy like Tyreek Hill to exist.
no, he did not.
Dude, I will argue.
No,
that.
he
Yeah.
did not.
Ty,
That shit was
the
there.
speedster,
That shit was there
fucking-
before Ty.
Uh,
Ty didn't lay down a foundation for anybody.
Kevin, how I do got to answer that real quick. You said Ty was a leader
Once.
in receiving yards once. Raymond Berry did it
That's
3
still
times.
dope though.
Raymond Berry did it
Berry
3 times.
Raymond Berry did it.
Obviously, that doesn't look that great because it was in a non-passing league,
Mm.
and it doesn't matter because he had
No, that's
Johnny
still
Unitas. But
That still makes sense.
T.Y.
That makes
Hilton
sense.
had a guy
does
like
make
Andrew
sense.
Luck who was arguably the best quarterback to probably ever play the game if he didn't retire early.
You want to know something crazy? They had the exact same amount of receptions. T.Y. Hilton
is
had
crazy.
1 more yard per catch, but Raymond Berry had 15 more touchdowns. Damon,
I told you the
tiebreaker.
stats were
You're
similar.
the-
I
you're
started
the-
my
you're the-
argument
you're
with the
the-
stats were similar.
You're the
It was just
tiebreaker
30
here,
years
Damon.
earlier.
I mean, I think either way.
No,
legit,
I think
honestly.
Damon's on Ty. I think I'm outvoted here.
You know,
clearly.
No, 'cause
I'm
Zach
actually
and we also had,
I'm gonna go this here though. Ty Hilton might be my favorite Colt ever, truthfully, because that time period I was watching. But if we're talking about the historic Colts team, all-time team, we got to put Raymond Berry. That's what I'm gonna say. Just my opinion.
I'm
I
fine
think
with
Raymond
it.
Berry.
Because
I think it's a fair.
I don't
argument
want
either
it.
way.
I don't want it to be. I didn't want it to be like the all-time Colts team from 2000 and up, and that's what it's looking like.
I'm
That's
going
why I
Raymond
threw in a
Berry.
name.
it's just a start. It's just a start.
It's just
I
that's
say Raymond
why I
Berry.
brought up Raymond Berry because
It's all
Raymond
good.
Berry was
So-
arguably he's a Hall of Fame receiver.
I mean, everybody from
Yes.
this season 7.
He's a Hall of Fame receiver. T.Y. Hilton's not going to hit the Hall of Fame.
That's fair.
I don't know
Very
the way
fair.
they vote. The way they vote today, everybody.
yeah, you're right.
I mean, look how long it took Reggie to get in. You know, like
Is Reggie even in
I'm
yet?
telling you, watch when 2040 comes. T.Y. Hilton gonna be a Hall of Famer.
I don't know.
Might
No,
have to
I
be on
mean-
my deathbed.
It's 100% a legit argument for Raymond. I'm not against it at all. I have to give my love out to Ty because he freaking carried that torch for my entire fandom.
I mean, yeah, it's someone you watched.
So, I mean,
didn't-
that's
mean,
my fan vote.
I
I think
didn't-
legacy wise, yeah, you got to.
I didn't watch Raymond Berry either.
Hey,
Just
Zach
know
really
of him.
Zach really wants his point heard. He done went from Facebook to YouTube. He said Bill Brooks was a stud. So I got you, Zach. I made sure we heard you, bro.
That's the first YouTube comment I've seen, actually.
Bill Brooks wasn't bad, but he didn't have as much impact as Ty or Raymond Berry. So looks like we're gonna go Raymond Berry for our
Ty's the special
our
teamer.
receiver there. Yeah, he could be a
Ty started as a special teamer, so we can
Yeah,
definitely
Well,
put
we
him.
can compromise there, right? Ty's the special teams guy.
All right, so we're going
I got it here.
Marvin, Wayne, Berry. Tight end. I don't think there's an argument here for number 1.
Give me Mackey, baby.
I forgot about him. I was actually going to say Clark.
I knew you was gonna say Clark. See, you started going 2,000 up. You didn't think I was ready. Give
You
me
were
my
ready,
boy Mackey.
but Mackey can be number 1, but Clark's got to be number 2 for sure. But we got to talk about Tammy.
Was there 2? Jacob Temmey was so underrated, bro.
Ooh, he was underrated. He was.
Hey, we only got 1 tight end for the all-time list. So do
You just want to do 1?
It's
No,
got to
we
be
can-
Clark.
All right, but then we got to
wanna do
talk.
2,
But then we
Yeah,
got to
I was
talk
about to
about
say,
it because
if
it's
you
got to
guys
be
wanna-
Mackey, Clark, or Tammy because I really think Tammy's at the top of that list too.
I
think-
think
I
Doyle
think-
gets over Tammy, in my opinion.
Doyle?
Yeah.
Over
Doyle's a
Tammy.
fumble machine.
I was a big fan of Doyle.
Ah,
I think
Zach,
I was
that's
a
a big
fan
one.
favorite, but
Zach, I
Marcus
love
is underrated.
Pollard too.
I had Marcus
Pollard
Pollard too,
Man,
but
we've had some good tight
I
ends.
just didn't have Pollard up there with Mackey
bro.
and
Pollard and ESPN
I-
2K5. Oh my god.
I know, bro. I
Pollard
know.
also hates the Colts, though. Pollard also
That
hates
is
the Colts.
true.
He
That
likes
is
the
true.
Jags. He talked about
I
the Jags.
can't have him
That
in
is
there.
true.
Can't have him.
Yep.
God, this is a good one. Tight end is hard. I didn't realize we had that many good tight ends because
Yeah, we had some.
I can
guys.
see the argument for Doyle, but boy, he frustrated me with those. He only fumbled when it
When it
was
mattered.
important.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's why it sticks out so much more. Like it seems like that was the only thing he did, but
He
was
only
so
fumbled like
consistent
3 or
aside from
4
that.
times, and they
But
were
it was
all
big
in
moments.
clutch moments.
Yeah.
The game
He-
I always
he
think
wasn't
about
clutch.
too, that Bengals game.
Yes,
Andrew Luck's return.
Yes, the first game of Andrew Luck's return, and we lost because of a fumble by Jack Doyle. All he needed to do was get the first down.
Freaking love the guy, but I mean he was not clutch at all.
But
Yeah,
I still wouldn't put him over Dallas Clark. Dallas
No,
Clark was
no.
definitely a bad man.
I mean,
we
yeah,
actually-
I think Clark's number 1 for me just because of his legacy. Because like we talk fan favorites. I mean, who doesn't love freaking?
But when Dallas Clark left,
no
bro,
gloves,
but-
Dallas.
But Tammy, dude, Tammy
was
stepped
a
in. It
dog.
was like he didn't like miss a beat. It was like tight end didn't miss a beat.
Yeah,
It's not like when we lost Doyle and now we're trying to find that guy to replace
Right.
Doyle.
See,
Or when
me-
we lost
me
Ebron,
personally,
now
I'm
we're
putting-
trying to replace that Ebron.
See, me personally, I'm
It's-
putting Pollard over Tammy.
Okay,
in this
I'm good
list.
with that. I mean, they're all
that's
close
why-
to me.
That's why I would have. We got John Mackey and then Dallas Clark for me, in my opinion, because I think if John Mackey would have got the chance to play with Peyton Manning like he did, that boy would have went crazy.
So are we
He would've
going
been-
two? Are we going
He
two
would have been
tight ends?
Antonio Gates.
We can go two.
Or Antonio Gates.
Are we going 2 tight ends?
We can do that. We
All
can
right,
I
do
think
we'll
that.
do
I think you
it's-
got to put both.
I think it's tough to leave one off.
So
Yeah, I
Mackey
agree. Clark's my number 1 though, for what
and
it's worth.
Clark. All right.
Zach, of course I got recency
Offense-
bias, dude. I haven't been
Oh.
here long enough to not have it.
So this is going to be a tough one here. I want to know what you guys' opinion on this. Well, I guess you guys may not know a little bit of the older, really older guys. But Matt, who are you going with that left tackle out of Jim Parker and Anthony Costanzo? Or did you have anybody else in mind?
No, they were the only 2.
Didn't
I'm
sorry if I'm stupid. Didn't Tarek Glenn play left tackle?
yeah, but I'm not going him.
You know I'm up there?
No. Anthony Costanzo was a stud, but he didn't really become a stud until Frank Wright came in my opinion.
You think so? See,
Yeah. I think he was
listen-
a system. I think he was a system left tackle. If anything, I'm going Parker.
I thought he was good, but I didn't appreciate him until he was gone.
Because Zach's
I think
talking
that was
about
the big
Glenn,
thing,
and
yeah.
we can't ignore Zach in the comments either. He's got
No,
he's
no,
got
no.
I
Glenn,
also
so-
had Tarek Glenn
Oh,
as my L2.
So I was gonna have Tariq Glenn as a right tackle. That's why I didn't name him.
Okay, yeah, I mean, if we're doing
I'd
like
go
that-
I'd go Parker over Costanzo. I really think
Me too.
Costanzo was just a schematic left tackle. He didn't really get that good until Quentin Nelson came in, and then Frank Reich showed up, and the scheme changed, and
I miss him now though.
because he was on the team when Andrew Luck was getting sacked left and goddamn right, so
Gotcha.
he's part of
also
that
the only one,
atrocious
though.
offensive line.
Yeah, Zach, I had Tariq as the right tackle. That's why I didn't
Fair.
say him for left. I was trying to even out the tackles.
All right. We're going 1 left tackle. We just want to do 1 offensive lineman
Yeah,
for each
yeah.
position
Yeah.
because that'd be a lot. All right. So left guard, I think we should all be pretty close. on this one.
I mean, we know who that was.
Q.
Big Q.
Yeah, we're going big Q.
I feel like
All right.
center would be the same
Center
thing.
should be easy too.
Yeah.
Jeff
Jeff
Saturday.
Saturday.
Coach of the year, baby.
All right, right guard.
So let me butt in for this one because I did some research.
I don't know many right guards in our
And-
history. So
Was,
it's-
was Chris
Motherfucking-
Hinton?
So he's one I looked up, but let me hit y'all with Ron Solt.
Ron
The
Solt's
first-
another one.
The
Left guard.
first pick for the Indianapolis Colts when they moved from Baltimore, and he was a Pro Bowler That's enough for me. Give me this guy Ron Solt that I've never heard of in my life. I like him.
So you do know Ron Soul was a tackle as well, right?
They said he played guard and tackle.
Yeah, he was primarily a tackle. Yeah, that's not a bad one.
I'm taking him.
I have no problem with that one.
I'm about to say I'm not going to debate any of these because I don't know. I don't know the difference between Chris Hinton and Ron Soul. I'm not going to lie to you guys.
I know Hinton played more left guard.
How do you even spell that name, dude?
Ron Solt.
It's S-O-L-T.
Solt.
Ronald Matthew Solt. What a name.
Legend. First Colts pick after we stole the franchise.
All right.
Well, he's the guy that we had to take because Elway refused to play for us. That's why he's known. I mean, and he still turned out to be a Pro Bowler. I think John Elway ended up having like a really crappy rookie season, but yeah, that was the guy we had at Gosder Schelleris for a right tackle.
Give me a Braden Smith only in 2018 though.
Nope.
No.
Tariq Glenn is our right tackle.
Who?
Tariq Glenn.
Yep. That's who I was going to say.
I took overall Costanzo and Glenn for my two tackles.
Because when you draft dudes, you don't draft left tackle, right tackle. It's just tackle.
Just OT, yeah.
It's just tackle. So
I'm done with that.
That's why I had to try and.
I'm good with the Tariq Glenn over there.
Zach, you like Gosner? I didn't like him, bro.
All right, defense. Where'd you guys want to start at defense?
Mathis and Freeney.
Defensive end. I had a problem with this when I started looking up the way they did the all-time teams because of the fact that when they did defensive end, obviously you guys know Gino Marchetti, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So they had him and Freeney as our defensive ends. But we obviously know Mathis was a defensive end for a long time, and they put him at linebacker. So where are we doing this?
I always took Mathis as an edge, as a defensive end. So I mean that's where I put him.
So from what I'm tracking before the whole Chuck Pagano era,
give me a minute here.
They both were defensive ends. Robert Mathis was not an outside linebacker until Chuck Pagano showed up and put us in that 3-4 system. Because I remember Robert Mathis talking about him having to adjust to standing up and not being down in the 3-point stance. And growing up, I remember growing up watching Dwight and Reggie just killing the edge off of getting low.
It was out of the
3-point. Go ahead, you're good.
Yeah, it was actually interesting because I was just now thinking about it as you were saying it. That was like a learning moment for me growing up because I didn't understand the difference between outside linebackers and defensive ends. So when I read that, like Robert Mathis talking about it, because I was always like looking up all the Colts stuff. When I read that, I started to like understand the difference. So it was actually like Robert Mathis having to change because of the scheme change was like a big learning moment for me to even understand how football schemes work. So that's actually funny that you bring that up.
Yeah, that was one of those things where I think it really shined for Mathis because Mathis started as a defensive end, switched to outside linebacker, and broke the Colts record for sacks.
Did even better, yeah. And I mean, he wasn't a slouch to begin with, but like
no, yeah. So I mean, it just showed his versatility, in my opinion. I think Mathis, in my opinion, I wouldn't even go Freeney Mathis. It's Mathis Freeney. Freeney had a hell of a spin move. I don't know if you guys remember watching Freeney
revolutionized the game.
My favorite pass rusher.
That spin move was something, man.
Elite.
I think I think I put Freeney first because I feel like a lot of Mathis's success early in his career came due to offensive lines having to scheme for Freeney being a one-man wrecking ball. My opinion.
Yeah, but then when Freeney left, Mathis learned everything he could from Freeney, so I'll give you that one too.
Mathis is the all-time strip sack leader, so
yeah.
I mean, you can't go wrong either way.
Good problems to have.
Fucking legends.
Good problems to have.
Yeah.
So are we going Freeney and Mathis and
100%.
Unless we want to put Mathis at linebacker so we don't leave off Gino.
He's an edge to me. Edge is edge.
Edge is edge. All right. Freeney and Mathis will be our right and left ends as usual.
Easy.
I wish, dude. I wish we could get him back. Where are we going next? D tackle?
I'm trying to write this up.
Yeah, D tackle.
this is gonna get a little interesting, maybe.
So
Yeah.
So you want
I'll
to do left and right? We'll do left
Yes.
and right,
Yes.
left or right and left, and
Mathis
then
is
we'll
gonna be
go
on that.
to nose one tech. Yeah, one tech to me will be Buckner, but that's we'll talk about that when we get there.
I'm glad you brought
Are we
it
not
up
already
because
here?
I was waiting for my
Are we not already there?
No, he's not a right left man. That man's a one tech. That man's in
No.
between the
I
guard
said,
and center.
I said, are we not already at the
yeah,
detachment?
that's what we're picking now.
Yeah, left and right.
Oh yeah. So I
Yeah,
got
not nose.
So you guys might know you got some more. I'm going back again. I got my boy Art Donovan
Yep.
and Buckner. So
you
if
got
don't know,
Buckner
that's
as a
the
left right D
1953
tackle though.
and 61. Yes.
I like John Hand too.
Just in this
I was-
all-time scheme. This is just
Okay, so we
Yeah,
don't
I
want to
wasn't
do.
thinking
We're not
scheme.
doing one text. We're just doing three texts.
Yeah, it's just
Okay,
Just
okay.
this scheme. So yeah,
Alright.
I have Art Donovan.
Then I'm definitely putting Buckner.
5-time Pro Bowler, 4-time All-Pro,
Donovan was on my list too. I had him
1950s,
listed.
1950s All-Decade team. Art Donovan and Defoe.
Zach's over here talking about Goose.
I know I had a tough time not putting Goose, but he spent some time with the Ravens there too, and so I got my boy Art over Goose.
What about
Buckner
you?
definitely be at number 2 for me.
Yeah,
I
Buckner
think-
for sure.
Yeah.
I'm just glad Buckner's a unanimous vote here because I was gonna go ahead and throw him out first so I could get attacked for my recency bias because I'm like, let me just get it out of the way. That's the guy I know.
Nah, Buckner was one for sure.
He's a dog, yeah.
Yeah, and then I guess we get to see a lot of his mentality too, and he's definitely an indie guy. So
He's a leader for sure too.
Yep.
Probably best
Give him
leader
a
we have on
lifetime
the roster.
contract, dude. Keep him. Yeah.
Yeah,
I hate
give
seeing
that
the
man a
trade rumors and
10-year.
shit.
Give that man a 10-year.
I'm with it.
Quarterback deal right now.
He's the soul of the front seven, man. You got to keep him around.
Yeah, and I remember when they were talking about trade rumors, and he was like, "Y'all need to go check your sources because this is where I want to be." I don't like. They're talking about him wanting to go to a contender, and he was like, "Nah."
Yeah,
He
I mean,
said, check
good
your
where I am.
sources.
you can't
Check
run
your
up the middle
sources.
against the guy. You just can't do it. Like,
No, he wants to
and
be
he
here.
can pass rush. Like,
yes,
Yep.
you can.
he's a unique talent, and I think he's been overshadowed during his career because of just how freaking insane Aaron Donald is. But he's like, he's
Yep.
on like near that level. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
He's like a half step below.
All right, we go in. Let's go, Will.
Was Jeff Herod a Will?
I don't know.
Zach, help me out.
He said Jeff Herrod.
Herrod.
He was a. They just have him listed as a linebacker. They don't
Zach
say
stole my
where.
list. I have the same list as Zach.
I'll
That's
probably
literally
say-
my exact
Yeah.
same list, dude. That's
y'all
mine
put Kato,
exact.
y'all put Kato June on there though.
Yeah, I
He's
put
the
him
guy I
as
know.
a. He's my Sam. I've got
Right.
I've
He
got
was
Shaq.
converted safety, right?
No,
Kato
Kato
was
was-
a converted
Kato-
safety.
Cato was our outside linebacker.
Right, but he was
I-
converted from a safety in college, right? I'm pretty sure. Like we
Yeah,
drafted him as a
maybe.
safety and converted him.
Maybe.
I thought.
Yeah, we converted him. Yeah. But he was a stud. So I would definitely put Cato as Sam, Leonard as Will, and I'd keep Gary Brackett as Mike.
I mean, Brackett doesn't get enough love over like the years.
Do you know
man.
why?
He was a freaking.
Do you know
legend.
why? Do you know his story? I know his story because he's from where I'm from. So Gary Brackett grew up in Glassboro, New Jersey, right? I used to
Okay.
play their high school in football. That's where he went to high school. He didn't play high school football. He didn't play football until he went to Rowan University. Rowan University is our party college in New Jersey. It's close thing to like a community college in my
Nice.
area, right? It's literally right across the street from Glassboro High School. Like, no lie. It's like literally right there. That was when he walked on to Rowan University as a football player. That was his
Yeah.
first year ever playing football.
That's wild.
And after his first season, he transferred to a D1 school and then went undrafted. He was an undrafted player for the Colts.
I mean, he's got to be on the all-time list of undrafted players too, right? Like,
yeah,
Dude, literally.
The dude's a monster, man. I used to love Gary Brackett.
I do want to make the distinction too. On this list, or at least my list, is Darius Leonard. This Shaq Leonard guy that was on our roster last year. He's not making the cut yet. But
Man, he
Darius,
gonna tweet you, man.
Darius, man, Darius. With I'll say this: Darius had the second best peanut punch I've ever seen. The only guy who's done it better is Peanut Tillman himself. Like,
Who also went to my high school along with RG3.
nice.
Damn, Damon went to the big school.
And look at him doing nothing.
Taking
Playing
shots.
playing Madden.
Just brought that guy back to reality.
Matt, I got too big of a heart. I'm not like you, Army guys. Oh,
So
yes.
we going Leonard and Brackett.
Yes, sir.
Who's the
Leonard
third guy?
Brackett and Cato.
Cato.
You know what's crazy is that we're naming half these guys on this 06 team that had the worst defense in the NFL.
Yeah, but some of these players were just studs, though.
Yeah,
Individually, they were studs. but
and then
some-
and in the playoffs went like one of the best defensive runs. Like,
yeah, we were the
makes no
32nd
sense.
ranked defense that whole season, and then
mean,
we
you-
stuffed the top rushing offenses in football.
They
in the
did the
playoffs.
opposite of Jack Doyle, man. They showed up in the clutch moments.
Yeah, they did. Larry Johnson.
Yeah, because Larry
What was
Johnson,
it? Jamal Lewis.
Jamal Lewis. Oh my goodness. Ooh, because Larry Johnson in the regular season went for like 200 on us.
And then
I
he
remember that.
disappeared. And then
He disappeared. Him and Priest Holmes both.
Whoa,
Yep,
whoa,
disappeared.
Zach, slow down, man. Gilly spent a half a season.
Gilly's not here. Yeah, Gilly's not on the list. I love
we're
Gilly,
done.
but he's not on
All
the
right,
list.
so we're doing CBs right now. Are we doing 4 or 3?
So
I think four. Be I
had
think four.
two- I thought I had two.
Do you want to
corners,
do?
two
Do you want to
safeties.
do?
I
You want to
had
do
two
2 corners, then do a slot, and then do safeties?
We can do that.
yeah,
Because nickel is a very important package. So
yeah.
I
I
got
feel like
you.
it's separate from corner at this point too. I think like it's kind of its
Yeah.
own thing.
it really
Okay.
is. So all right, so
Well-
outside corners, I'm going Vontae Davis.
Yeah,
That was my favorite. That's about one of my
Love
favorite
the guy.
DBs.
Don't care that he retired in the middle of a Miami game.
don't give a shit.
Hey,
It was
that wasn't
there.
our team. That wasn't my
Nope.
team.
Yeah,
Man.
all that matters is what he did in Indy, and what he did in Indy was freaking dominate.
Yeah.
Cornerback, other side is going to be Bobby Boyd. If you guys don't know,
So I made a freaking like favoritism pick. I put Marlon Jackson for the sole moment that he had. That's my guy.
Oh,
That's my guy. I put him. I don't
can't
care.
do it, bro.
Hate me. I don't care.
Boo.
Hate me.
Look, Trev,
Best
Trev,
clip in Colts history. I put him on the list.
Trev. Let me give you a little history real quick on Bobby Boyd. 1960 to 1968, my boy Bobby Boyd led the NFL interceptions in 1965 with 9 of them. He ended his career with a total of 57 interceptions.
Hey,
We're
let's talk
not
about
putting
this.
anybody over.
Let's talk about this real quick though. You said in the 60s. Ain't nobody was passing accurate back in the 60s anyway. That was like
don't.
backyard football in mud. You couldn't plant your feet and throw the ball accurately
Didn't
for a day in your life.
didn't Ken Stabler win a Super Bowl?
You know,
that
you know,
season? He
do you
threw more
know,
picks
do you know how
than
many,
touchdowns?
you know, I have 57 interceptions from 2004 to 2007 in pickup football too. Bro.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, but you can't Google that.
But you know what you can Google? What you can Google is Marlon's got it. So he's on my list.
I think Roman
He's on
Harper
my
or
list.
Kelvin Hayden is my number 2.
Bobby Boyd.
I'm with
Nick
Harper.
Harper. I think
Harper.
Harper.
Yeah,
Harper
I'm with
was
Harper.
a real key piece for us. And then Hayden stepped up that year. We let him go. I
See,
think.
y'all killing me with all the new guys, man. I'm the only one throwing out some of these old names, man.
Bro, but like it makes sense though. Like we didn't even have a franchise until when did they move? The 80s?
I mean, we were a
And then
franchise in
we said
1953,
53.
but
No, we're talking Indianapolis.
yeah, but the
No,
Indianapolis
we're talking
Colts
about
are the
all
franchise
time
all
Colts.
time.
All right, fair
All-time
enough.
Colts.
But either way, like it makes sense. Like it was a dog shit team in Indianapolis up until that AFC run, AFC Championship run, and then Peyton. Like
we've-
it makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, we had good years in the 80s too.
Exactly. We also had some good years in the 60s.
Yeah,
Just
and the
telling you.
70s. We've
Playing
had good years in
plumbers,
every
dude.
single year.
It don't
Playing
matter what their
plumbers.
occupation
It
was.
matters to me.
They
It matters to me.
They weren't getting paid enough to be full-time players.
Yeah, it
I'm
matters to
telling
me.
you, 57 interceptions cannot be ignored. To me, the error don't matter. If they was throwing a ball 9 times a game and he coming away with 57 interceptions a year over a career, that's insane.
I'm not trying to knock it, but it kind of does matter the era, man. It's the same as like no one's gonna touch Wilt Chamberlain's record because he was freaking tall as hell playing against guys that look like me. Like,
yeah, but if you look up Wilt Chamberlain on an all-time scoring list, he's not up there in the top 5.
no, because he didn't play that. Like, let's look up where he is because I know he holds all the records other than all-time record.
No, he doesn't.
Hey, cheers to the Colts.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Pull out your water, bud.
I'm already empty.
Hey, Damon, you want to hit up some Warzone after this?
I'd love to possibly, but Eugene Daniel, another corner from late 80s into late 90s, led the league in interceptions twice. I think he was a couple-time Pro Bowler. I think he has the most starts for a Colts corner, if I'm not mistaken. So I'd say Eugene Daniel probably, but Vontae Davis is by far the best coverage corner we've.
Hold on now. If you look it up, the second best corner that played for Indianapolis. This is a list already. All right. Eugene Daniel intercepted 14 passes his first 2 seasons. Started 186 games from 1984 to 1996. Second most starts by a Colts cornerback is.
Let's say that's a long 76. For a corner.
76 by Vontae Davis.
I've been playing for the Colts during that era that long.
He made 35 interceptions total and 744 tackles.
It does beg the question, though, how much of that is just because of longevity? Because that's something that goes against like guys like Frank Gore too, right? Like
that's fine.
Obviously, I'm just saying.
That's 12 years. That's 12 years. So let's do that.
He had an unreasonably long career for a corner. Like most guys.
How many tackles was that? 7. Okay, but this list is a little off because Kenny Moore is number 3. So we can the irrelevance of this list has now hit me.
That's what I'm saying. My boy Bobby Boyd, 57 picks. You can't beat it. And if you guys have ever played what is it? I ain't played it. Madden Ultimate League, where you can go back and you can get some of the old school players.
Yeah, I hate MUT.
They don't put all the players on there, but if you can get some of the old school legendary players, that's what really makes you appreciate the game and the old school players. Obviously, because we didn't get to see them. But
and they try out there. Yeah, they try out there with their beer gut and like a cigar in their mouth and shit. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
No, they just got the 1-bar helmet.
Yeah. Well, they only put 1 bar so they could still like chug a beer on the sidelines.
Is that what that was for?
I don't know. It makes sense to me.
That's a new one. Yeah. And the 2-bar was to hold their cigarette.
Yes. They had to
or the fucking cigar. Them dudes used to smoke some fat doobies back in the day.
Yeah, well, going that far back, it was still a pipe. That's why they had the bar so they could set it in there.
All right, that time when cocaine was legal.
So where are we going? I got Bobby Boyd, man. Bobby Boyd, Vontae Davis.
Yeah,
we all went Vontae Davis.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a super impressive list at cornerback if we're being honest.
I mean, I can go with the 57 interceptions.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying legacy this whole time, so I can't argue with you now.
All right,
yeah.
So where are we going at nickel?
Okay. Hold on. Hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
Darius Butler.
Ooh, I like it. I like it because I freaking love Butler.
You could also put him at safety too. So
yeah, but he only played safety for that 1 season for a few games.
Yeah,
I'm going with him in the slot because in the slot that man was getting interception after interception.
Yes,
and I remember talking to him on Twitter back when he was like 1 pick away from breaking the all-time record for pick sixes.
Yeah, I think I'm because I was going to reluctantly go Kenny Moore there, but yeah, I'm going to go with D-Butt too, man. I like that.
Kenny Moore's good when it comes to sacks, but if you go in coverage, Darius Butler's got that, man.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to specify the difference between nickel and cornerback too, because like I don't love Kenny as a corner, but as a nickel, like,
hell no,
Zach,
no, Greg Toller, no,
hell no,
no,
hell no.
My fondest memories of us getting
Greg can't cover Toller.
What's
The
the worst
worst-
feeling? The
The
worst feeling
worst
in the world.
corner in all of football history.
Seeing
Mm.
Troller
ever.
Todd out there.
Golly.
Watching quarterbacks.
He's worse than Facion.
That dude is Matt Pryor at cornerback.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. I would put in order from bottom to top of worst cornerbacks to ever play for the Colts. It's Greg Toller, Facion.
Quincy Wilson.
I'm about to say.
Hey,
Quincy,
might-
yeah,
they
and
might
then
go
Quincy.
close to your line.
I would still take Quincy before both of them.
I would take LaRaven Clark back on this roster before I take Greg Toller.
I would
Guess who's
not
still in the
argue.
league?
I'd start him too.
Guess who's still in the league?
I would not argue
Oh
that.
my god. So are we going D-Butt or are we going Kenny?
I'd take D-Butt.
I got
Yep.
deep.
I think his breakdowns are really good too.
Oh,
All right.
yeah. He's a genius, dude. If you guys haven't listened to like his
think-
podcast or when he goes on Pat McAfee's show,
I love
knows
him.
the kid
I love
in
him.
and
He's
out.
smart as shit. All right, free safety. I'm gonna throw a name out there. Antoine Bethea.
My guy. Let's go.
I'm with it.
I was about to say
I'm with it.
I thought this was pretty locked at safety for us, honestly.
Yeah.
Bethea and Sanders, right?
I
Yeah.
thought everybody had okay. All right.
No, I
No,
thought-
yeah, I'm with it,
I thought-
dude.
I thought
Those are
this
the
was
guys
a
I
lock.
know.
I thought this was a lock at safety.
I like it.
All right, kicker.
Come on.
Vanderjack or Vinatieri?
Stop it.
Vinny.
Stop it. I will go with my user, my little nickname here, Vinny's left foot over any other kicker in Colts history.
And I guess punter is Pat McAfee for sure. He's the
Easy,
greatest
yeah.
punter of all
Easy.
time. That's kind of stupid.
Yep.
Man,
He thinks it's kind of stupid that he got selected to be Hall of Fame.
yeah,
Who, Pat McAfee?
Yeah,
he laughed it off. He's like, dude, what am I doing on here? But I mean, like, you think about it in the list of all-time punters, he's like top 3, right? Top 5?
No, he's top
Like,
one. He's
you
top
think
one.
so?
That man's got more coffin corners than any other punter. In
I mean,
NFL
yeah, there's
history.
definitely a case. I would say he's definitely the most talented to ever play the position because he just dropped exactly where he wanted it every
Yeah,
time.
that man was the most accurate punter.
He's a
I don't-
punter with a 10-minute highlight reel, you know? Like,
That's facts. And he was the first kicker to ever recover his own onside kick
yeah. I watched that
against
game
the
live.
Houston
too. Freaking
Texans.
Awesome. Yeah, freaking awesome. We were on
and
a
then
roll that
and
year
then
with
it
onside
and then
kicks
it
because of him.
forced teams to change their kickoff return
Yeah,
formations.
dude has changed rules from special teams. Like it's pretty legendary what the guy did.
And then they laid out Roy Halladay. I remember that. That was
Yeah, yeah.
that was
He
great.
was,
He said
He
that
was
shit
awesome,
hurt
man.
for like 2 weeks after.
Yeah, he was like, I closed my eyes.
yeah. He was awesome, dude.
I remember watching it on Pat McAfee's show, and he was like, "This is the most athletic moment of my
My
life."
whole life. Yeah. I freaking love the guy. I mean, nobody's been like a Colt through and through, like freaking Pat McAfee, dude.
He says we're going
Yeah.
to the Super Bowl every year.
I'm with it. I love it. He's wrong, but I love it.
Is who better than Ray Guy?
No, he actually
Ray
looks
Guy?
up. He actually looks up to Ray Guy, one of the greatest
Yeah.
punters of all time. Played for the Raiders. and
Yeah, that's
whatnot.
right. I think he doesn't have the longevity to say he's the best punter ever, but I think he had the best prime. Like, it's weird to talk about like punters having the best prime, but like nobody was on top of their game like Pat McAfee was.
I'm sorry,
during
but when
that time,
you're a punter and every fan base knows your name
there's more one jerseys than
and they-
18 or 12 jerseys,
and
yeah.
they absolutely love you,
People had the game plan for him.
I'm sorry, but everyone absolutely loves Pat McAfee. I've never heard anyone say I hate that guy.
I agree
Brett
with you.
Favre.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's about it.
my
What'd he say?
goodness.
Brett
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre is suing Pat McAfee right now.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
right
a
now,
freaking
yeah,
There's one,
sure.
there's
Yeah.
one that hates him.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think it's worth saying too, though, that like the Colts have always, at least
I do
as far as
remember
my
the
memory
mullet.
goes, we've always had a really good special teams unit. Like we've been kind of blessed there. Like even Rigoberto Sanchez is really good.
Hunter
Honestly, we've
Smith.
gone through like some
Well,
kickers.
That's
stuff
the
right now.
that's the new age Colts. Our special teams back with
Yeah,
Peyton
that-
were
right.
awesome.
I'm saying since like Vinny came in, basically since then and going on for like ever since Vander got freaking
Vanderjet,
boot. Yeah,
the stupid kicker, just kick the
the
ball.
idiot kicker.
Stupid
Just yeah.
idiot kicker.
Ever since we got rid of that guy, the Colts have. I feel like we've always had a really solid special teams unit.
All
Even
right.
with
So is Ty gonna be our kick returner or our punt returner?
Yeah, that was my compromise, right? I won't argue for Ty at
All
number
right,
3
so-
receiver as long
So
as he's-
Ty as kick returner, but are we going to do a different punt returner?
I think I got Ty punt returner.
Ooh,
I got
wait.
Ty at punt returner.
Yeah, I don't have him at kick returner at all.
Nope, punt returner.
All right.
And
I
if we're
will
gonna
go
kick
recency
return,
bias and bring back Naheem just for returns because of the game he had where he brought back 2.
I don't know, man, because
We could
Isaiah
put-
Rogers was one
Yep.
hell of a kick returner.
Josh Cribbs played for the Colts too.
Josh,
Don't forget.
yeah, but he didn't do
Hey,
shit for us.
He got knocked out cold in that playoff
Yeah,
game.
he
I don't know
didn't
if
If
do
we
watched
if we
that.
can take strictly guys that put on a Colts jersey, yeah, it's Cribs easily.
I'd love to swap Ty and I'd put Hines at punt returner. I think that Hines is a legitimate, like he's a returner you're scared of back there, dude.
At punt return.
I love Naeem Hines at punt returner.
Yeah.
But then that
Man,
worries
like,
me
our
because
special teams is
Ty
just
wasn't
nasty,
a kick
dude.
returner; he was a punt returner. So
Yeah, I know it's
He could
tough,
have done it though.
man.
He could have
So
done
now
it.
the compromise is going to be ruined because Ty is not going to be put as the best kick returner, in my opinion.
All right, well, no, I'm taking Ty before I take Naheem just to have his name on the freaking roster. Like,
Yeah, that's a tough one, man.
That's tough. Yeah.
I'll take them both.
Do you
Fuck
guys
it.
want to add a slot receiver spot?
Hey, that too, yeah.
We could.
Look, Ty is on this roster, all right? One way or another.
Somewhere.
13
but-
is in there.
But I would honestly say prior, the last 20 years, I don't remember ever seeing a kick returner be really that great until Isaiah Rogers.
Yeah, I was
TJ
about to say,
Rushing.
no, we
TJ Rushing was
actually
decent.
no the Colts. We actually had I want to say one of the longest standing records in history without a kick return. I think it was from like 04 to like 2015 or something like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And Isaiah Rogers almost breaks one almost every time. And so does Dallas Flowers. But Dallas Flowers has had one season. So
Yeah, we've definitely came up on some guys in recent seasons, but it's
Yeah.
tough for me to not say Hines just because what I've seen him do. In which
we do have
In the
some
open
people in the
field,
comments.
he's Tavon Austin, dude. Like, he's a freak.
Terrence Wilkins was the last one that took that. Well, for Terrence Wilkins was the one that.
look,
the last
look.
one that
Josh just killed our whole slot theory right there with Brandon Stokely for the slot.
we forgot about Stokely.
No, we didn't. He just wasn't up
But-
there for a top 3 receiver, but in the
Yeah,
slot,
I mean, he's not top.
then Stokely needs to be in consideration.
See, look, now this is going with my argument that Ty isn't even a top 5 receiver for us.
No,
Oh
come
my
on. Come on.
Oh,
Goodness.
he's
Come
top
on.
What do
five
you have
receiver.
against him?
He's over Stokely, dude. He's over Stokely.
Yeah, that's why I said just slot, just purely slot. But if we're talking about all-time receiver, it's obviously Harrison and Wayne at the top, and then you could argue Barry and Ty. And
Bro,
then there's
Quan Bray
everybody
was
else.
trash. Stop it.
Oh, I didn't say Quan Bray.
No,
Not
in the
you.
comments here, yeah.
In
Quan
the
Bray was a
comments.
beast in college. But
Oh,
sucked in the
In
pros.
college, in the NFL,
Yeah,
dude
no,
was
no.
trash.
Yeah, Quan Bray. No, I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't have broached his name.
What's our honorable mention guys?
he was-
we gotta
he
throw
was-
them out there.
He was
Honorable
he was
mention?
the Darius Hayward Bay of fucking football. Like, Jesus.
I can't believe I just forgot my guy's name. But you guys know 17.
Whalen.
Collie?
Collie, yeah, Austin
Was it
Collie.
Austin
bro.
Collie, honorable
One
mention.
of my
100%.
favorite-
What number was
Colts-
Whalen?
15.
Like 15.
15. I knew it was close. It was around there somewhere.
I used to love my guy Austin Collie, bro, but injuries just freaking killed him.
I mean, he's
bro.
got more hospital passes than like anybody, dude.
Man, dude. I loved when he played, dude. I loved when he played.
Yeah, he was awesome.
So we still got to settle this kick returner, dude.
I'm going
Or,
Ty and Naheem. Let either one do whatever.
What we doing, y'all?
I don't care. It's up to y'all because
Yeah.
everybody clearly needs. For some reason, y'all need to have Ty on this
Yes.
all-time roster.
Yes, we
when
do.
I think
there's clearly a buttload of players better, but
A buttload. There's like
a
one.
product of Andrew Luck. That's all Ty is.
A
And
product
Brandon
of his speed.
Brandon Stokely was a product of Peyton Manning.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, how about that?
That's fine.
We didn't try and argue him though. I got Hines at kick return, Ty at punt return.
I'll
put
go
it
that
in there.
I'll go that
All
route.
right, that's
That's
fine.
cool with me.
I mean,
I'm with it.
if one ain't working, we can swap them.
I was
But,
like, either guy in open field is freaking.
So that's our all-time Colts list there. We have Peyton Manning as QB1, Johnny Unitas as QB2, Edgerrin James at RB1, Jonathan Taylor at RB2, Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Raymond Berry, T.Y. Hilton is an honorable mention for receivers. We got John Mackey, Dallas Clark as tight end 1 and 2. We have
Tammy as an honorable mention. Jack
Jacob
Doyle
Timmons
as an honorable mention.
We got
Jack
some
Doyle in the first
tight-
3 quarters.
tight ends
Honorable
that can
mention.
do a couple different jobs there.
Eric Ebron as an
Yeah, I was going to
honorable
bring him
mention.
up. For one season, Eric Ebron,
One of the greatest seasons we've seen by a Colts tight end. We got Jim Parker at left tackle, Quentin Nelson at left guard, Jeff Saturday at center. We got Solt at right guard, Tariq Glenn at right tackle. Then
Braden
defense.
Smith in 2018.
Yeah, we got Braden Smith at his best year.
Honorable mention.
We got defenses, Robert Mathis and Dwight Freeney as our pass rushers. Art Donovan and DeForest Buckner as our defensive tackles. Linebackers, we have, as Trev would say, we have Darius Leonard before
Darius.
before the name change.
I'm hopeful with
Gary
Shaq,
Brackett
Darius
as a middle linebacker and Cato June as our other linebacker. And in our secondary, we have Vontae Davis. We got Boyd, Antoine Bethea, obviously Hitman Sanders. We got Darius Butler as our nickel corner. Special teams going to be Pat McAfee and Adam Vinatieri. And then kick return and punt return, swap them however you like or you will.
We may have to
Hilton.
We may have to slide up. We may have to slide back up to left tackle. We got somebody in here naming people off.
I said Hinton too.
No, Zach did say Hinton earlier, but I didn't have him up there with the guys that we had. With Jim Parker and Anthony Costanzo, I didn't have Chris Hinton over those guys.
I think you 100% described it perfectly, though.
I like your straw.
Anthony Costanzo, he's a guy that we didn't
purposely
really
got it blue and white.
Nice.
Real men don't use straws.
Just chill, man.
I'm just here to talk shit.
What you drinking on?
Matt Rife put me in that mood. You know what I'm saying? That man talks some shit, bro. That was funny.
What you got in the glass, Matt?
Me? Whiskey, always.
What
A
kind?
little bit of Jim Beam.
All right. Jim guy. I like it.
I like Jim. Jim is smooth compared to Crown. I'll drink Crown if we're like partying or something, but I'm not gonna go out and buy it and drink it to chill with.
It's too much sugar in it.
Yeah, that's facts.
But Jim Beam's smooth and easy.
I got Jack Daniels.
Jack is good too. I actually mix Jack with my barbecue sauce when I make some ribs.
They sell it too, like already made.
I don't like the already made. That's a lot of sugar and shit added to it.
Yeah.
So Matt, did you take down this list or did you want me to send it to you?
I typed it, but I didn't put first names. So if you have all the first names, I would gladly take that because some of them I forget their first names. And then I'll try and make some kind of graphic for it.
I was just about to say I can try and make a graphic.
Hell yeah.
It's a pretty solid list.
I'm about to say, yeah. I mean, all things considered, like when you look across the league, I don't know how many teams can put together all time roster like that's much better than ours. I know there's a couple that will, but
I could
put it up there.
Well, I could do one for Philly. I can tell you they're all time great at quarterback.
Randall Cunningham?
They're 1 and 2. Yeah, they're 1 and 2 is Randall Cunningham, and as of now, Donovan McNabb until Jalen Hurts does better.
Did y'all ever see Randall Cunningham's
cannon? They're two best. Yeah, that dude is a monster. He's my favorite quarterback of all time.
His cannon, bro.
I've
never seen a man throw a 60-yard ball that looked like it came out of a frozen rope.
Bro, he was the quarterback for the Eagles when my family was trying to brainwash me to be an Eagles fan because I lived out there, you know.
And it made it really hard, didn't it?
Well, no, because I was little and I didn't care too much about football. I could give two shits. I was a huge baseball fan. That's why I'm a Phillies fan. Scott Rowland is my favorite baseball player of all time, Golden Glove, third baseman. But if I would have known football at the time Randall Cunningham was the Eagles quarterback, I would probably be an Eagles fan right now. Like when I got older, I started watching his stuff and I was like, dude, this guy's a monster. Randall Cunningham was a beast. And then you can't take away from Deuce Staley and Brian Westbrook. My God, Barry Gardner, Brian Dawkins. Golly, bro, that team.
He was a monster.
They had a team. Yeah, they had
T.O.
T.O.
T.O. doesn't get enough love, man. Oh
no,
my
not
goodness.
at all.
That dude could play
one of the most hated players in NFL history.
I'll say this, and I've said it all the time. T.O. is probably my favorite wide receiver of all time. I don't care if you got him as your top 5, top 3 wide receiver. He is my favorite, whether he's top 3 or not.
He was
Bro,
good at everything.
That's how I
Yeah.
am with Ocho Cinco. Like, I
The
know
dude-
he's not one of the top guys, but just as like a fan favorite, I fucking love
Yeah,
him.
it's because a lot of people, for what people hate T.O. for, is what I loved him for.
Yeah, I love that
Ricky
shit, dude.
Waters.
Ricky
Yeah,
Waters.
Ricky Waters, man. I wish I could smoke weed.
I
and run a
remember,
football.
bro, that boy when he came out was crazy.
Man.
Ricky Waters played for the Cowboys too, didn't he?
He might have played.
So there were two. I know there were two Ricky Waters. Two of them. Wow. And then he just kind of dipped out on us.
That's all you need to hear.
He said, "Don't be talking about that guy."
Yeah.
Said Ricky Waters. That's it. I've had it.
Yeah, Zach. That's Scott Rowland. Scott Rowland played for the Phillies, though. That was my guy. He was Golden Glove for the Phillies. I believe he did play for the Cardinals too, though. You already made your post? Jesus.
He's quick with it.
Oh! You messaged it to me.
Yeah, no, I would need some time with that graphic because I would have to find pictures.
I got it. Just let me. I'll handle it.
Not to change topics here, but could you imagine if they made like each college, right? Each college did a all Notre Dame team. Notre Dame and Miami
Yeah.
would literally be the only. I mean, I don't want to hear anybody else make up Michigan, whatever. Notre Dame and
Alabama?
Miami, maybe, but not. But I'm talking like quarterback down, like Notre Dame and Miami.
You
Oh
want to talk about it too, though. It's funny because I love that you said Michigan because I guarantee Michigan fans would say Tom Brady.
Yeah, but he wasn't.
He wasn't even great in Michigan.
JJ McCarthy, a sophomore at Michigan right now, is already like more of a career at Michigan than Brady had.
Didn't Brady lead them to a national championship game?
He didn't lead them nowhere. No, he got carried.
I thought he led them to a game because I seen some
them.
old highlights that was talking about. I don't know. I didn't pay any attention to.
Bro, that man got drafted with baby fat still on him. Like he didn't lead anybody anywhere. That man got carried. That Michigan team was something else.
Obviously, he had the Heisman on his team. So
I'll still say this: greatest coach in college football of all time, Joe Pa.
Oh, you know what we didn't do?
What?
Coach.
Greatest coach. Coach.
I mean, it's easy. For me.
NGM. We didn't do coach and GM.
I think it's
so
easy.
easy though. Yeah.
That's too easy. GM is definitely Bill Polian.
Yeah, easy.
I got Don
Coach has got to be
Shula as
Tony
my
Dungy.
coach. I got Don Shula as my coach.
Oh.
I got Jim Mora.
All right, it's not as easy as I thought.
I was gonna go Don Shula personally. I was
Don
gonna go Shula.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm good with Shula.
So-
I'm good with Shula.
I have to give a sympathy vote to Tony Dungy. I may have told this story on here before, but my dad almost ran the man over in an Indianapolis Starbucks. So I kind of owe a lot to Tony Dungy because if my dad would have hit him, our name would be vilified in the state of Indiana. So yeah, shout out to Tony Dungy and shout out to my dad for hitting the brakes. in
So,
time and
so
not
what I
running the
got
guy
from
over.
that story is you guys almost ran his ass over, and he's
And
still not going to make our all-time head coach.
That's tough. That's tough.
and still got us a Super Bowl.
Hey, but if Dungy ever comes back and plays this episode for some reason, right, he'll see I held it down for him, and I'm sorry about 2005, dude.
Let's not get too apologetic over here because I watch a lot of Tony Dungy on the Sunday Night Football cast,
And he hates on us.
He always picks against the Colts, and I had to call him out on it when he chose to pick the Colts or pick the guy. He had the audacity to pick the goddamn Patriots over us when we beat their ass. And so,
Yep, I remember that.
So I wouldn't be too apologetic. You know, he should be understanding. So
Great coach though. Like great.
You know, Pat.
We've had
Pat
a lot of really good coaches.
Pat McAfee will never choose against us.
Yeah,
That
he's a
man's-
homer through and through.
well,
man.
he'll be straight up when we stink though.
Yeah.
But
He'll
he'll
open the
still pick
show.
us. He'll tell us he'll say on Saturday that we suck ass, but on Sunday morning, guess what? He's picking us to win.
Yeah, he's at the game, and then the
I like
following
that
Monday he'll open the show with the Colts are dead.
I like that he has it in and he goes at our personnel directly, like Chris
Yeah.
Ballard.
I hate
Yeah,
that he has
Mercy.
Boston Connor on the show though, because then he always.
Oh, I love that guy. He's funny as fuck.
No, he always coming out. The Colts are gonna stink. And
Yeah, he's a troll,
I'll be
but
like,
he's
shut
hilarious,
the
man.
hell up, Boston Connor.
Yeah, I mean that's his whole purpose. He's a freaking troll.
My
He has
favorite
been on that
episode.
Ballard.
My favorite episode is when the 8-year-old kid comes on. And he tells Boston Connor, "You're a bitch."
Yeah, I love that.
Bro, I can't
love
wait
that.
for football, man.
Yeah, I'm in.
I can't wait.
Draft coming up soon. Hey, for everyone still listening too, like we'll try to make it a regular thing of each week we'll highlight a prospect that's not getting enough love as we lead up to our draft. When is it here? In like April, May?
Y'all are forcing me to do some homework. Good Lord.
Hey man, you gotta get into college football. I've been telling you.
I mean, I used to be. when I was single.
Yeah. You're better at evaluating players though. Like I like
you guys send me names. You guys send me names and I'll evaluate the shit out of them.
That's what we'll do then, because you're better at that than I am. Because I want to see all the positives too much probably.
Yeah, I definitely. I just kind of use my any time that I can get and try and see what maybe I can find or something. But I definitely try and stay away from big names because obviously you can turn on TV and you'll see this.
So that's the hard part. That's the hard part. Like if you don't watch college football, it's hard for me, right? Because I don't watch it all season. I watched TCU, but that was because I was like our main position was quarterback. I'm watching Max because I liked Max. I didn't like span out watch all these other teams. But when you go to look up players afterwards, it's all highlights and it's all everybody else's thoughts. Like if I watch some scouting reports, sometimes I mute them because I'm like, I don't want to hear what you have to say. I just want to see. Yeah, I just want to see what you're seeing. But they don't. A lot of the times, it's just like, oh, this is a pro, and I'm like, all right, now I got to go find games, and I got to go find like. Yeah, it's hard sometimes to find footage. Yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to see how a player plays in a certain time of the game, what that game means. A lot of it goes into it. It's not just like, oh, well, this guy missed this throw here. This guy missed this throw here.
Yeah, you can make a lot out of singular moments and not look at the entire picture, I feel like.
Exactly.
Yeah, I learned from coaches' film to try and just turn off the sound. And you're just watching games as far as who you're seeing pops on tape. And then once you find somebody pop up tape, you can look them up and then try and find what they do.
Sure. Yeah. Right on, man.
That's facts. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and close it out tonight. That was a good episode. I can't wait for the draft, Zach. My draft hat comes in next week. Hopefully I'll have it by next episode. The only reason I didn't order it right away is because UPS delivers Fanatics. And for some reason, anytime I order from Fanatics, UPS tries to deliver it across the street, and I had a whole issue where one of my packages disappeared, and I was like, I don't know what you're doing. They keep delivering it to 942, and my address is 1004. So you're like way off on your number, but I don't know what you're doing. So
he's got to deal with the other guy. Is what it is.
Yeah. Well, hopefully I fixed it because I called them and started bitching.
Nice.
So.
So April 27th. Looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait. I'm probably.
I hate how far away it fucking seems, dude.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna take a 4-day. I'll just be like, hey man, I busted my ass the last couple months. I'm taking a 4-day. It's draft day. I don't care.
I want to find out who the fuck we're drafting. That's why I'm getting antsy here.
Yeah, let's answer all the questions and then look at what we think about it. You know, I'm tired of the ifs and maybes.
Yeah, the draft night doesn't even start until like 8 o'clock at night.
5:30.
5:30 at night.
Well, my time.
Pacific time.
My
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so like 8:30 my time, bro, and that's a Thursday.
I gotta stay up late for it.
Yeah, I'm thinking
about doing a draft party on here. I'm gonna try and stream it and share the screen.
I'm hoping I'm not working, but I would definitely be in for that.
Yeah, hey, that's an idea too.
Regardless of how I gotta make it happen.
Anybody watching, let us know if you guys would be interested in that. Some kind of like draft cast or.
Oh, they've already said they're interested.
We
just gotta. I just gotta figure out where I'm going to stream it from so I can share it while we're on here.
Yeah, I just do it from my phone.
I might.
See, I put all of this on the laptop, so I gotta actually put this on my phone.
I don't know. I guess we'll figure it out. But yep. So we'll go ahead and close out for tonight.
All right, yeah.
Appreciate you guys for coming through tonight.
Instead of going 2.5 hours. But yeah, we'll go ahead and get those graphics set up and send them out too, so that everybody can see what our all-time Colts team is.
Hell yeah.
Let's do it.
Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for watching.
It is always go Colts. I can't wait for draft day. Again, go Colts.
Go Colts.
He is going to drop the throw. Fires deep along the right sideline for Alec Pierce. He's got it.